Hello dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you people are doing well. Today I have made this video just to discuss the basic introduction and demonstration of industrial control trainer, through which we can easily understand that how these automated sensors and other actuators works in industries, just in the service of automation manufacturing, automated manufacturing. This video will cover data in two steps. First, we will discuss by this drafted Word file, in which we will discuss few components of the industrial control trainer, and we will discuss how its working principle, about its working principle, and the second step will include the video, in which we can easily understand that how the machine operates, and which working principle is followed by which actuators and sensors, with the help of using different conveyor belts and control units. There is another part in which simulation and software involved in the operation of this trainer, but that will be briefly discussed in this video, just because this is just an introduction of the control unit. Okay, so let's start. Here we have the title of this experiment, basic introduction and demonstration of industrial control trainer. First, we will discuss about this control trainer. So this control trainer is basically designed by Biotronic manufacturers. You can easily Google this manufacturing industries, and this provides all kind of manuals and other related videos for easy demonstration. So the objective of this experiment is we have to assemble two parts, and automatically assembling of two parts using different sensors and actuators. So assembly of two parts, the first part is metal peg and second part is plastic ring, with the help of industrial automatic system, sorting and rejection. Okay, so the purpose of this control trainer is to assemble those two parts by classifying them, also passing them, and at the end we are sorting them by accepting or rejecting the assembled or disassembled parts. So this is our controller, which we will discuss about. So it contains different components, such as this chain type conveyor belt, this straight belt conveyor, and also different sensors are installed on this machine. So let's read the description of this video. The Industrial Control Trainer ICT-3 is a flexible modular training system that facilitates students controlling different product assembly and also its inspection. The unit introduces variety of industrial sensors and method through which we can easily sort different type of components and assembly products, using a flexible training module, which is also provided by this Biotronic manufacturing, that also called software. So this software is used to easily adjust and control your sensors and conveyor belts and other uh, electric motors. Now we will discuss about the components. This control trainer contain chain conveyor, which is this. Chain conveyor is used in those industrial areas where you need to lift or where lift some parts, or where you need high grip for the components, so that they can easily be transported from one place to another. And another, it is basically driven by 24-volt DC motor, which is just installed over here. And another type of belt, conveyor belt, plain conveyor belt, installed over here, which does not require any kind of high grip, just because it's a horizontal surface and it is driven by this electric motor. So first is chain conveyor, second is belt conveyor. Now we have different type of sensors. Three infrared sensors are installed. first infrared sensor is over here, second is installed over here, and third is over here. So for inductive sensors, now what is inductive sensor? Inductive sensors, you can also say that these are metal detectors. Okay, they contain. We will discuss later what are these sensors. And a third one type is capacitive sensor. So capacitive sensor. Okay, solenoids. Solenoids are those which act as an actuator, and just by having simple command they transfer electrical signals into physical motion. Our first solenoid is attached over here. When the rings or any metallic part comes under this process and it is detected by the inductive sensor, it sends the command to solenoid valve, and that solenoid simply push that part, and it fell down through this hopper. So one solenoid is attached over here, second is installed in this position. Linear solenoids and rotary solenoid. Okay, first type is rotary solenoid and second linear solenoid. We have installed rotary solenoid over here, which allows the plastic ring to come over here just one at a time. Control, we have two buttons, one to start and one to stop the machine, obviously, and third control button is emergency stop switch, which is just shown over here. Okay, so this machine contains basically three basic parts. The first portion is classification, second is assembly, and third is inspection. In classification, at classification portion, the materials are classified and sent forward in their respective channels on the basis of these sensors. After classification and sending forward direction, these are then further manufactured or assembled in the assembly area, which could be based on any relative motion, including mechanical objects uh, or any other source. And the third and last area is called inspection area, where again two or three number of sensors are installed, and which verifies that our required desired assembly is achieved or not. If achieved, they pass it through the conveyor belt, and if not, they simply reject by activating this solenoid valve and into this red trash area. Okay, now we have studied few sensors over here. First is infrared, second is inductive sensors, and third is capacitive sensors. So first we will discuss about infrared sensor. Infrared sensors are those which contains two modes. Two modes was one is sender and another is collector or receiver. Through emitter, the infrared rays are continuously forwarding, and when anything comes in front of infrared sensor, it reflects to the receiver, and suddenly the command goes to the controller, and they sense that part. So just by collecting those infrared rays back, we can simply the sensor can simply sense that any part is reached the position. So we have already learned what how the infrared sensors work. We have already used in measuring devices and other. So second type of sensors is inductive sensor. Inductive sensor also we can say that this is metal detector, which contain a simple coil, and electric field is generated in at the top of this coil, and you can simply position or aim this sensor to any place, and if any metallic component or a part comes and pass through that position, it will change the electric field of that sensor, and by change in that electric field we can simply understand that uh, any metallic part comes near to the machine. So we can use that voltage command to do further operations. And these type of inductive sensors have good life, and these can also work in wet and dirty conditions. Another type is a capacitive sensor. Capacitive sensors, these are basically used where you used to describe, where you used to find different electrical properties which are based on the capacitance and distance between two metallic or conductive parts, such as shown in these two plates. If you if you change the distance between these two plates, it will change the value of voltage which is received on the detector or any other source. So by changing the distance between these two plates, you are just simply changing the voltage, and through that you can easily understand that which type of voltage you require. So if any other part, metallic part, is passed in between these two plates, it will also change the voltage difference between these two plates. This technique was basically uh, commercialized by iPhone. These are also used in the touch screen, where you simply push the screen, and by changing or by that pressure, capacitive sensors start working, and they will just send or do the desired work for you. So this was the capacitive sensor. Another type is solenoid valve. Solenoid, here we are discussing circular solenoid, in which a simple electric coil is wounded around an armature, and it is connected with the AC or DC source. Normally we use DC source in these kind of machines. So just by energizing that coil, this circular bar cover position in arc type shape, and it will allow the component to go in circular motion. These type of sensor will be easily explained in the video. Now we will discuss about control process, that how we can control the complete procedure by using those uh, by using those uh, control unit. So the two components are assembled by the unit. First, we will give a thorough reading that we will discuss further. A chain conveyor lifts the components to a sorting area where signals from sensors are used to determine which type of component is being sorted. This which type of component is being sorted are sorted with the help of actuators and sensors. If a plastic if a plastic ring is detected, a solenoid is activated to push it down a chute into the assembly area. And we have another infrared sensor metal detector, which will give the command to the solenoid not to start. So it will let the aluminum ring pass through that position. At the assembly area, further sensor is used to determine whether or not a ring is present, ready or assembly, and if not, a rotary solenoid is activated to index the ring into the assembly position. Here, that solenoid valve is used to pass that plastic ring so that it can be assembled further. The pegs, pegs are the aluminium bolt type structure component which are to be assembled with the plastic ring. So the pegs are allowed to continue along the chain conveyor until they are deflected down a chute to the belt conveyor. Chute is the position. It's a kind of slide where these metallic pegs are slided down to the conveyor belt, and which transports them to assembly area. If a ring is present, assembly take place. Okay, and the ring is not present, then that solenoid valve will move one. Okay, so the signals from the sensors are used to determine whether or not correct assembly has taken place. This procedure is done in the inspection area, our last area. If not, the defective elements are ejected by a solenoid, while good assemblies are allowed to pass in the finished part tray. Okay, fault switches are included for the teaching of diagnostics. Okay, so at the end of inspection, those sensors will allow us to sort out that if the components are assembled perfectly or not. This complete procedure will be further explained in the in the university, sorry, in the video. Okay, here we have the simulation, or you can say computer graphic interface. This is a software ICT3. This software is basically provided by Biotronic itself, and it will allow you to first simulate all the all the process in this software. And once you succeeded by following this procedure, further you can run it experimentally. So this green tray over here is our starting point, where we keep our all components, and we just simply put them on the conveyor belt. Okay, this software allows you to start and reset the whole procedure, and it also allows you, by simple clicking on these sensors, you can simply turn on and off all the switches and motor. So first we will keep our disassembled parts over here. Here two sensors are connected at the same point. One is infrared sensor, uh, which is used to uh, sense any part such as plastic ring. Solenoid valve will transfer that plastic ring into this area, and also the aluminium peg is also detected by this infrared sensor. But at the same time, that metal detector will give command to that solenoid that do not push this one. So aluminium peg will go forward and will slide down after this conveyor belt. Okay, after that, this conveyor belt is running continuously, so that metallic plug will move forward, and this circular solenoid valve will move one plastic ring in this portion, which will be then assembled and will go further in the inspection area. Now, this inspection area contain three type of sensor. This one is metal detector or inductive sensor. This one is called infrared sensor, which is used for plastic ring detection. This is for aluminum peg detection. And third one is capacitive sensors, which is used just to check the cross-sectional surface area of that assembled part. If the plastic ring on a specific height is perfectly assembled with that, it will allow it to pass. Otherwise, it will further come and will be rejected by this solenoid valve with a simple push, which will be detected by using this infrared sensor. Uh, this this complete software runs on the basis of different kind of uh, computer simulations, such as we already have worked with the Arduino software and Arduino control unit. So which is based on the C++ language. Another source is Logix Pro or Semlet software, which are used to completely control these softwares by covering ladder logic, which I have already taught you people. So these are LedSim and Logix Pro are two softwares which you can easily install. They are free and easily available on internet, and you can easily control any kind of simulation by sitting in your home and by doing practice at your laptop. I have connected a video URL that you can how you can use these softwares and download it. Also, this control unit allows you to easily control and modify different machines, such as you can create many simulations. For example, a bottle counter, or placement of bottle, or capping of bottle. liquid filling machine or a universal testing machine for the coverage of from top dead center to bottom dead center. Many mechanical operations, motion operations can be covered using these simulation softwares. Here here I want to show you people that how this machine works. This is just simple a picture of ladder logic. I have already told you it can be created. This ladder logic can be created on lead sim software, and I have already taught you people in a instrumentation lab another software Logix Pro software is used, which is also used to perform these type of coding, uh, just to give input and output such as on off switches and timer, set the timer of a DC motor or etc. Now we will go further to our second part, which includes YouTube video, which is very helpful, and by just watching that video we can easily understand the whole procedure. Here we just simply start this machine, and we have already placed some plastic rings and aluminum pegs over here. Now we can see that this this is our metal detector, which is used to detect this metal, and at the same point we have installed a solenoid valve which is provided with the infrared sensor. When infrared sensor detect any part, it will push it to this slide, it will push it to this hopper. But when this aluminum peg is detected by infrared sensor, at the same time this metal detector will detect it too, and it will send the command to solenoid that do not push it and let it pass. So here we can easily understand. Now this metal detector, you can see the light that this sensor have detected this, and it will deflect it to the another hopper, and this only plastic ring will be pushed forward through solenoid valve, which is sensed by infrared sensor. Here, this is that circular solenoid valve, and this is our assembly area. This is conveyor belt which is driven through this DC motor. This is our chain type of conveyor belt, where we can simply keep our different disassembled parts and let the whole procedure do the automatically assembly. This infrared sensor is detecting that aluminum part too, but at the same time this metal detector is sending the command that do not push that, and only plastic rings will be pushed through solenoid. This circular solenoid will hold all other hold all other plastic rings, and uh, it will just move one at the same time. Here we can easily see that that motion of conveyor belt is simply assembling this whole area. Okay, now this part is really interesting. Here we have a metal detector. This metal detector is installed here to confirm that our aluminum peg just reached over here or not. That this is another infrared sensor installed here, which is used just to confirm the existence of this plastic ring. These two plastic rings, these two detections will tell you that both of the parts are over here, but that perfect assembly is still not approved. So here we have another type of capacitance sensor, which which just simply judge the cross sectional area and height of this plastic chain. At this height, it will check the distance between these two plates. These are just acting like those two plates, and by passing this assembly in between these two plates, it will just calculate the calculate the generated flux, and it will allow it or reject it by sending the command to this solenoid valve, which is also detecting the position of the components by this infrared sensor. Here, this perfectly assembled part is passed through another part which was not assembled, was simply rejected by that solenoid. It will be rejected by this infrared solenoid detection and solenoid valve. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have liked this video, and if you have any questions or queries, kindly let me know.